There we go. We have voice now. This is the chat. Why does it not look as opaque as yesterday? We don't know. Opacity, size. Okay. Yeah, there's what's going on today. It's quite hard to get everything lined up in place to do a live stream some days. But here we are today. Hope everyone is well. I'm going to put the chat in there again. And just make sure I can see everything. So I'm just in the middle of bringing this one, worked on it last 7 days ago. And I just want a different snare. I think I want some clappiness to my snare. And the other day, I brought up one of the samples that I'd made from John's sample bag, in want of a better name. I've lost it already. John's sample pack drums, even though it's percussion. Oh no, it's clap, and it's one of these. Those are my very own hands. I can't remember why that one sounds so different. 6 claps. Is that enough claps? Let's drop it in with the snare. You can't hear it because oh, that's weird. That was weird. Okay, the screen was flashing. It's not anymore. That's all that matters. It's not anymore. That was weird. Right, okay. Hope it doesn't do that again. We want some clap. Who likes a bit of clap? It seems to not be sustaining, so that's because it's not on one shot, and that's why. Oh, is that really just that kick? Well, let's change it a bit. Put that in the group. And this time, I don't think I've used kick 2 in a live stream yet. Kick 2 was like this synth that I was dreaming of. Not a dream, just like one of those technical dreams where you like wish a clever programmer would make it. Kick 2. So if we go to sound, if it's not in here, be in sound design. Kick 2, there it is. Instant music. is analog dB. That sounds like it's got some nice, it's obviously too loud, but we'll just name that kick as well. Very loud. Loud. We didn't have a pitch. If we don't have a pitch, then what is controlling the level? Oh, is it the master? Oh yeah, we did this before. It is actually this one. There it is. That's controlling the attack, the click key side of the drum. Interesting. That's just added a little, like a resonance in a weird place. Slam. 64 milliseconds. Do you know what Ableton needs in somehow seamlessly built in millisecond calculator? I mean, okay, just being lazy, aren't I? I could just do an calculator. MS to quarter note. You know what I'm searching for. I know, there it is. Google figured it out. So the tempo is 140. Quarter note is 429. Divided by 2. Or divided by 8, okay. So I'm going to get this exactly right. 429 divided by 8. 53. So thereabouts is 53 milliseconds. There you go. It says 64 there, which means by the time this, let's zoom in. By the time this has reached there, so almost 0 volume, the noise, so this is LFO1's modulating, bringing up the level of the noise synth oscillator, and that hits maximum after 53 milliseconds, and this pitch here has pitched down after 62. And then envelope 3 is weirdly the volume of oscillator A. What's happened to my voice? I don't know. Anyway, it's not what I was after, but it's better than what I could have come up with, I think. I was in it for the was in it with a chance, and I hit the chance. So let's see what we have for the rest of it. This whole project has already transformed from something completely different into this. Don't know why hearing myself on the microphone makes me go "t" instead of "to." It's not just that word as well. See can you hear what my problem is? This is too loud for a start. Oh, too loud. Oops. I kind of like the rhythm, but I think I need to change something about it. So we're going to come up by the end of this year. I've already tried this many times. A colouring convention for basses are always going to have burgundy. B for bass, burgundy for bass. Now that sounds too loud. The sub, I knew this when yeah, look at that. Way too loud. That's probably why it's. But I think we can do better than that bass. Just sounds a bit too in your face bass. Boom boom. Oh no, of course it does, because it's two. Let's try the same rhythm, but we're gonna start throwing different shapes. Still not sure. Let's screw the FM for a minute and remove that as a modulator, and start going through. If we modulate off this again, let's try. Sounds more jagged there. So Ryan Fletcher, hi, sick, thank you. Would love to know your setup for recording these videos. Is it a pain to get it set up? The way I've got it took me a few goes, to a few tweaks, and just a few tweaks here and there, a little bit each time. I'd try and tackle a problem, not all in one go. It's good to spread over a few days, weeks. Yeah, there's OBS with a couple of plugins for vertical and for mouse cursor zoom. And then the output, there's there's a vertical output which goes to pretends it's a webcam, so you can play it in TikTok Studio. Sony UK. This is Windows. I'm a Windows person. I believe all this software is available for Mac though, so as it should be. So there's some cool, some really cool sequencer apps on the Apple Store, which you can't get on Android, which I'm a bit sad about. I think developers like just be like, yep, no, I'm Mac only. If you want this app, you need a Mac or an iPhone or iPad. Some really good sequences that I've seen my mate using on small device, making some really cool beats actually. It's like optimizing that user interface on a small device. It's like, I wish that was my job in a way. Yes, I know it is possible on a Mac. You can definitely do a live stream on a Mac. Well, I mean, depending on how fast it is, how old it is, you know, your stream quality might be limited and the size and stuff. But apart from that, you know, yeah, it should be possible. The only way to find out is to try. I guess if your Mac was made in the past few years, yeah, it should be definitely possible. OBS, yeah, OBS is Open Broadcast System, and it's amazing because it's free and community. Well, it's open source, so that means the community can submit features to be added and stuff. So it's really cool. It's yeah, it does the job. OBS by oh, I used to have. It doesn't actually say it on there. It's like got a company name as well, but it's open source. I could have sworn it was. Yeah, it doesn't even say it in there. That's how unimportant the company is. Where was I? It's just OBS. Everyone knows there's OBS. What do you think? What do you think for mixing Go Grind? Says FX. I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. Fuck. Fuck on slam and go. Nice. If anything, you can use anything to mix Go Grind. I've never tried doing it before, but it's just two audio signals summed together. You could use GarageBand, or we could use this is Ableton Live 12 that I use. I've seen a lot of other live streamers use Fruity Loops. Not really. I think I saw a Logic Pro someone use on the live stream the other day. But apart from that, none of the alternative ones. Like there's loads. Studio One, Bitwig. There's like a free version of Cakewalk Audio, which I was with the first. Apart from Fast Tracker 2, was the first MIDI sequencer that I ever used. But that's still going amazingly, and it's free. So Sonny, is mouse tracking part of OBS? No, you can get a plugin on I think it's on the actual OBS website. No, it's on Git. I think it's on GitHub. So you just search for mouse tracking scripts. Yeah, OBS Zoom to Mouse is what it's called. And there's a tutorial on YouTube, but it's not a comprehensive. They've missed a few bits out. I still need to contribute my part because I've received this gift from the programming gods for free. I still need to go on the forum on the forum for this, someone's like, oh, I can't get it to work. This mouse to zoom thing doesn't work, but I got it to work. It didn't work for me at first, but I kept believing. And then I got it to work with the vertical plugin. So I've just got to tell people how I did it. I can't actually remember how I did it. Not right now, anyway. Yeah, so this tune, I've just changed the kick and the snare because the snare sounded awful. But now it's got a clap on it and it goes a bit clappy. It's like that's what I wanted. Something like that. I got something different to what I wanted, but it sounded better than what I wanted, so if you're in it to win it. Yeah, I mean, people have got some mad plugin like scripts good for OBS, but I've only got one script right now running. And the vertical plugin is something. It's a plugin of. I don't think it's a script. I can't remember where I got it, but it's all top results pretty much. The bass you might not be able to hear anymore. It sounds better like this because I've turned it down by like great many decibels, but it needs. I don't know what it needs. I was trying to imagine away from the computer what I want it to sound like. It's just couldn't think of anything, which makes me kind of want to just completely change it to sort of a different bass altogether. See that. That sounds a bit tight. If it's trigger mode. Big man, hello. How's it going, big man? Oh, I like how that kind of goes boom, 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 because it's repeating every 1/4. It's going up, boom, boom, boom. I'm good. I've had a sickness in the household, and it's still not quite over yet. So I've missed out live streams, and I'm very fatigued. Not as fatigued as the last live stream that I did. I think I was slurring my words. That's what needs to this thing. Oh, it is doing that. Wom wom. It's going wom wom, isn't it? I want to bring out the second wom though. Allow it is. Don't know how I want to bring it out though. Oh, we could do it with that. This I'm on a PC here, but as far as I know, someone just asked this before if I'm on PC or Mac, and as far as I know, everything that can be done, that I'm doing, can be done on a Mac. Right now, I'm sure OBS is on Mac, and I'm sure TikTok Studio is. Ableton definitely is. Serum definitely is. Mac, so you might probably need a newish, I don't know, past few years Mac to do all this stuff at once, because I am actually doing two streams. I'm sending out uploading 2 streams. But apart from that, what I'm doing musically is yeah, definitely. And that's quite high. Can you see it? 40. It's quite a lot of process usage. I'm not quite sure why. No, I'm on PC, mate. Brothers. PC, but you can do all this on a Mac. If you so desired. All of this software is available. I wonder if any Linux users in the house. This is Ableton Live 12 with Serum. Serum is a synthesizer VST plugin, and it's my bread and butter. Can you make it bro step? I mean, it is Jesus. It is kind of. I mean, it's not bro step is a bit more steppy than this. House drum and bass combo. That sounds like two genres that I mean, drum and bass sounds like it came from the mating of house and early jungle techno. The jack element of house and the groove and the speed of jungle techno. I don't know. It all started with house. House drum and bass combo. People are always trying to merge those two. They're kind of like chalk and cheese, aren't they? They do, you can make them. There's like a kind of, I say resurgence, but they're trying to bring 4/4 back into D&B. They, don't know who they is. There are certain DJs and producers doing 4/4 or 4/4 intros and then dropping into a D&B thing. 4 to the floor, not 4/4. That's 4/4 there. It's all 4/4. Oh, I saw a thread that asked what's the most difficult time signature to play. I said 4/4. Because have you ever tried playing Chopin or like one of those classical composers? I mean, I've not even tried to play. I think I've looked at some Chopin and I've gone, I'm not even going to try and play that because I'm nowhere near the level you need on piano you need to be at. I only got to about grade 2, so I'd love to get to grade 9 one day. How long have I been making tunes, says Bradders? 20 plus years. I've stopped counting at 20. I've had a mad research. There I am again using that word, resurgence. That suggests that I've started again. But no, I'm always starting again. But in the past 3 or 4 years, my output has accelerated massively and my development has gone up, even though I've never had so little time. I wasted a lot of time in my 20s kind of not being sure and not working on one tune for way too long at a time. And you don't develop like that. You have to make lots and lots and start lots and attempt to finish them and say they're finished and move on to the next one. Learn from the process. That's basically it in a nutshell. No, I don't do it for a living. Spare time, hobby thing. with lofty dreams, but it's nice to have some kind of goal. That's a challenge. It's a challenge. Making music is the fun bit, you know. That's for me, and I'm loving doing it. And I like doing this on live stream where people suggest sometimes like, oh, do this to this bit, do this to that bit. But usually it's for me, and it still is for me. You know, I'm enjoying it. But then once it's finished, I'm like, right, can I release this? And you know, for any given tune that's finished, like how can I get loads of people to listen to it? That's the very tricky, very different to making music. And usually a label does that, and usually a label has more than one brain working on it, and more than one set of skills and contacts. So yeah, it's like trying to do what a label does. That's why I've only got 300 followers. Because if I had a label helping me, it'd be different. If it was the 90s, it'd be different as well. Obviously, because record labels were more important back then. Selling vinyl was easier. But yeah, so yeah, rolling with the times. I'm still just making it for fun. I have a gig coming up, so I have in February a place to play some of this stuff and see what my mates have come up with as well. Reach for the stars, yeah. It's good. It is good to have a dream. Even if you don't reach it, something to do. Like, I love doing it. I love how difficult it is. You know, some people do gardening. Some people do crochet. Or cooking. Or doing up cars. My chosen thing is this. It's always been messing with computers. I should be a rich IT guy, but I kind of like doing this a bit too much. Thing is that it's just so annoying, and I annoy myself when I say it. Oh, I could just drop all this any day and become a rich IT guy, because the IT guys are always in demand, high demand out there, and always will be, if not more, as the years go along. And just, you know, jump into a 30 grand job, then 40 grand, 50, blah, 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 keep going up. Within 10 years, I've just like, so much money, but then no music under my belt. So that wouldn't make me happy. I'd rather just have an average job. Yo, random. How's it going? Oh, I didn't. Did I? I did set up Discord, but I don't know if you saw my message or there was someone who added me on there. Was that you? Anyway, Big Man HD25. Good guess. Good guess. Industry standard DJ headphones. It took me a long time to realise that these existed and that they were only like 80 quid. Well worth it. And opened up the high end of the frequency spectrum, because I did have like some really cheap Sennheisers that were like 20 quid. Really old ones, and for some reason the cutoff was at like 15k, so I didn't get that air they hear in music. I tried to teach myself on Mac Fruity Loops. I think you want to try Fruity Loops and Ableton and Cubase and a few more, but that's those two, because there's a difference between the way you make groups like this. It's a big difference in the user interface and the workflow. And I chose Ableton because of this way of this sort of organization of the plugins. Rather than being in Windows, they go across the bottom in a row, so you can see how they're connected visually. And you can have groups, and I'm sure you can have groups on. There's ways of doing groups on Fruity Loops as well. I think you have to set up a new channel and stuff like that. there might be other ways, but to me it's not as intuitive visually as Ableton. But on the other hand, FL has some other mad features that Ableton does not have. The routing thing, and it has some built-in synths which are really good, and the EQ. I think the EQ looks really good. I kind of wish I had that EQ and a convolver. It's like Ableton has a convolver as well, but it just doesn't look as good. And sometimes that makes a massive difference. Like the EQ that I have, this is my favorite EQ, FabFilter. And I use it because it's really good and it's kind of visually it does it for me in the right way. It's not even that fancy, the visual. There's more fancy visual EQs are there. But it's slightly better than the stock EQ, like the EQ8. But the great thing about the EQ8 that comes with Ableton, you don't really need any other plugins with Ableton. It does the same thing. It's just got a few slightly different algorithms, but it, if you do a quarter 200, it does a quarter 200. And you can change the Q. It's just it's just an EQ. EQs don't really sound any different to each other. FL Studio on Linux. No way. Yeah. See, that FL Studio is good because it supports Linux. Yeah, I'm not a Linux user. Oh no, I use Android, so I am. Like most of the planet is a Linux user, and they don't know it. Linux is amazing and the backbone of the internet, so it deserves respect. Big man. Yeah, I tried many times, but for me, Technics EAH 1200. Huh, what's that one? Wine. Wine, does it actually work? I didn't know how good wine was. Apparently it's good if it can run a door and through an audio interface, then it probably is good. Technics. Let me just have a quick look at this. So, all right. The first thing I always look at is frequency response. But Google's rubbish at giving you actual. Oh no, I'm not going down that hole. But yeah, I take your word for it. They're good earphones. Are they industry standard, right? I want to try some open back headphones. Let's see for mastering. What the delay on this? In my ear. Anyway, that's definitely an improvement on that bass. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe the pattern's wrong. Yeah, I think the frequency response is the one where it will show you a graph, and usually like part of the spectrum is brighter than other parts, and usually there's a cutoff in the bass, slow, like from 45 down, start sloping down. Okay, yeah, yeah. I think if I did more DJing than I do, I'd probably get a better headphone. And I must remember that 10XE EAA EH. Yeah. Yeah. Windows VSTs on Linux, right? Yeah, well, Windows 11. It's annoying. Going from Windows 10 to 11, things don't work on it. Basic stuff has changed. And I'm like, is it because I'm getting old? I'm just like yelling at a cloud. Or is it shit? No. If you could see, there's other people complaining about it. It's not just me. About this specific thing in File Explorer. I think it's a bug. But it's not, because it doesn't affect enough people. They don't care. They just don't care. They've made a crappy product this time around. And it's sad. It saddens me because Windows was pretty good for someone like me who just wants something. I don't want to do command line stuff really, like in Linux. And you don't even need to do it these days, but Windows worked for me. But now it doesn't. And if someone showed me a better operating system, I'd take it and I'd go back to Windows 10. But they're stopping support for it, aren't they? Next year. So we're going to duplicate this again. And we're just going to try something else. In fact, we should keep this. Should we do it in monotone? So it's all. Because that's what I don't do that enough. Keep the bass mono, but then have a mid bass that does something very different. Sennheiser. Is that an open back? Right. That's probably the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. They don't cost much, do they? They're not like. I don't know why I thought of having a flatter frequency response would cost so much more, but it doesn't. Still don't have the money for it. I upgraded this year my studio monitors to Adam. I can't remember what they are. Adam Audio. They look like 6-inch to me. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 6-inch because the other one's 5, isn't it? That's definitely not a 5. Yeah, they're great. The high end's great on it. It's really crispy, and it does go pretty low as well. But I could do with a new sub to match because I've got like a sub that doesn't go all the way down. It doesn't go, is it? It starts rolling off at like 45, which is really sad for a sub. Like these speakers almost go to 45. I really wish I had a massive sub in this house, but it's the wrong place for a sub. I'd never get to use it. Well, I would, but rarely. So I can't justify, 400 quid for a Yamaha or one of the matching Adam Audio sub. But yeah, they're really good though, because I just use, for ages, I used, what are they called? Creative. They're like little creative ones, like little yellow speakers, and they sound really good just for a high space speaker, considering the size. It's not great, but the high end does not sound great. It doesn't sound as good as these. And I was mixing on him and I was making a lot of errors. That one hurt. Yeah, I do like it, but my hearing is somewhat damaged from listening to loud music in front of very loud sound systems out in the middle of nowhere for extended periods of time. So I probably struggle to mix music because of that, but I do like brighter things. Ooh. Thanks. JSav, thank you for following. And if I missed it, oh yeah, thank you. Should I have I don't know what that is. Some music theory expert could probably tell me exactly. Just comes out of nowhere. Thank you, that one ho. What's his bro making? Thank you, bro. Bro is making some kind of 140 thing with a dubstep. Sprinkles. Brad is 2024, thank you for following. And that one ho, thank you too. Bear Wamps, DJ Luton. There's no air between. But you know, in headphones there is no air between the speaker and your ear. Yeah, you don't get the crossover. You have to imagine it's there. Just give it a different colour. Right. So that's how we're rolling now. With a mono, just mono for ages. I think we need this snare accent to go somewhere else. And the more air between your speaker and your the more the sound can be dampened. The more, yeah, the more damage to my. Oh, I can't scroll there. Look. Yeah, so I prefer working on headphones because the mixes come out better generally, pretty much every single time now. If you can make it sound good on headphones, it usually sounds good on speakers, but I prefer working on speakers because I don't know. When you're working in a room, you can seem to hear more stuff sometimes because of the natural reverberations in the room that you're working in. You can pick stuff out because of the reflections, and I think that helps. Well, I did do for a long time. Now I actually don't think it helps because everything I'd make on a speakers, I then listen to it on headphones because I spotted that most of my mates who I was sending music to would listen to music all day, but on headphones. So if it sounds shit in headphones, then probably mixing wrong. So I set myself the challenge. It's a hard challenge to make the switch. Just force myself to put headphones on while making music, even while doing the sound choice, and it's made a big difference. Yes, if my room, Jace, if I had a proper studio with proper, I mean, it's not cheap doing it properly. It's really expensive actually to do it. To do it how I'd want to do it, it wouldn't be cheap at all. You wouldn't be able to do it. You could DIY it, probably take weeks, but it still costs a lot of money for materials. But then I would just, I mean, like say, it's still air. There shouldn't be any reverberation, should there? It should be deadening everything. You might want to reflect some frequencies. I don't know. Do you just want the sound of the speakers? Because if you do, you want to build an anechoic chamber where there's no reflections at any frequency, but then it sounds dead, completely dead, and uninspiring in a way. Headphones kind of sound a bit like that. So if you can make it sound good in that dead space behind your ears, then it usually translates to a speaker. It's on me a bit of getting used to, but can't go back now. But I do when it comes to mixing and mastering, I do compare it on these speakers. The car speakers sound so bad. This car that I've got at the moment is a Ford Galaxy, and it just sounds the way. It's like the worst system I've ever had. It goes loud, but when you change the volume, it changes the balance between the sub and the high, the trebles, so you can't judge if your mix is any good really. But all my mixes would sound boomy on there, as in too much mud in the low end. So yeah, I didn't know how to fix it for ages, and then just rolled everything off. Final mix dropped everything below like 200 hertz by 8 dB, and then it sounded alright. Yeah, that would be, if you listen to mixing an anechoic chamber, that would be very revealing, I think. Although you'd have nothing to compare it to. It would sound weird because your ears would, if you turn slightly one way, it would sound so different. It might even like drop the level in your ear so much by just turning your head like that much, I'm guessing. I mean, like line of sight. If you've not got line of sight to the speakers, there's no other reflections. But yeah, ears are like a genius reflector themselves, aren't they? Big man, your mixes are always better when you use monitors. Interesting. I think it is part of my mixing process. I do have to bring in the speakers at some point and reference as well. Yeah, the best rooms I've ever mixed in are bedrooms with double beds in, and I've got my speakers in there, and yeah, the bed absorbs so much of the problem frequencies relative to the other like higher frequencies. Like the muddiness seems to get dampened quite a lot, and some of the subs. I found it really useful. The last bedroom that I had was in a loft, and the one at the roof which was right next to where I was sat, was like that, right near my head. So, and the sub was underneath the desk, and the speakers were just there on the table. So everything was, instead of bouncing around a square room, because that's problematic as well in a rectangular square room, where it's like just goes like that forever, and then hitting a bed and dampening a bit. This was better having a roof, just one There was only one slant in this roof. So everything would hit that, travel to the other side of the room, get absorbed by the bed, and it wouldn't come back. It was the best. And the coating on this roof, on the ceiling, was like wood. For some reason, and landlords can't use that anymore. It's illegal to use wood, it's not fireproof. And then behind the wood was, like a rock wool or something. So it was this perfect, like, damp, and it moved. You could push it and it just moved. So it'd absorb loads itself and reflect the rest. And it makes me want to build, if I ever built one, I would have a slant in my room somewhere. Just one. Because if you have two, might be better if you have two, I don't know, but acoustics are mad. And then when I met someone at a party once, she'd done acoustics degree. I was like, if I had enough time. Yeah, in this room, I have collected old couch cushions that were going to be landfilled. And if I run out of space, I can just throw them away. But they do dampen this when I do have the sub on. They just offer just a little bit of dampening. This is a horribly square room, this one. So even more reason for me to use headphones to mix and sound selection. No, yeah, people won't listen in an anechoic. I've never been to an anechoic chamber. Sitting inside a wardrobe. Yeah. I've never done anything fancy. If you've got a really good mic, well, mine's not really good, but I did buy a cadencer many years ago to record some songs. And as long as it's set to cardioid and your mouth's in front of it, you got a pop shield, you can get really close. Most of the reflections you can't hear them anyway, and you can use a noise gate. But I wasn't singing particularly loud, and it was quite a big lounge that I was singing in. Get rid of this. But yeah, I recorded some vocals from a mate, or an ex-mate, and not used them because she was mean. That's another story. I keep telling that story. And I can't say who it is. I'm liking what I've done with the beats and the bass, but I just want something else to go on top of it. Boom, boom. I might have to start some scratch. Like that, do you know what I mean? Just a little lick. That's not mono, is it? Well. Oh, wow. Why does that sound so awful? Very humanised, thank you. Cowbell. In what pattern there? Or is that a cowbell that you're going to hear? Yeah, cowbell and dubs. See, I should probably add a dub siren by now, shouldn't I? That would really start to gel things, rather than leave it to another day. I think I should start going through dub sirens or making one. be playing at the same time. And here as well. And you know what? Because they sound a bit faded. Oh, there's already a distortion here. Tube. Too much tube, canal, or tape. They're very similar. I think it's third harmonics that they add. Don't want the crispiness though. I don't know what I want. Should really go back to the source. Go back in Serum. Let's see what's going on here. There's the LP. Yeah, there's an LPF. Oops. Oh no. Wrong track. No. There's just no high frequency content. And that's fine. That's cool with me anyway. I'm just gonna turn it up. There we go. Dub sirens. You can, maybe it is. it's quite sensitive. You can do really subtle stuff with this big man. So I think it is part of that suite, which is used for mastering, and I use this to add harmonics or distortion. Yeah, it can add. Yeah, it is good on the master, but used very sparingly. Whenever I've used it, I've always dialed it back after trying. I always end up dialing it back a little bit, if not loads. Because you see how easy it sounds great. Because it makes everything sound like an old record. I mean, again, the best thing about old records is all the harmonic distortion. So it's tempting to leave it all in, but because of you don't need to leave it as loud, because today's speakers, you can hear that distortion better than on an old sound system. So you don't really need to. I mean, if you're making everything for a phone speaker, then you'd probably want to have the low harmonics on the low turned quite up all the time. But if you're making stuff that's primarily listened to on sound systems, then you definitely don't want that high at all, because the harmonic will take energy away from the sub that you put there for a good reason. You don't want to take energy from the sub. That took me a long time to figure that shit out, by the way. Stuff that sounds good on speakers at home, even with a sub, doesn't sound the same in a club. You want a nice, clean as possible sine wave as the sub. So you want to find a balance where it sounds good on home speakers and good in a club. There is a balance there to be had, and that's obviously like what the masters of dance music mixing and mastering know and have experience in, and that's the experience I'm trying to gain with every iteration, with every tune. Dub sirens. Where are these dub sirens? Spread out the highs. Oh yeah, ozone. Yeah, ozone is good for ozone. The ozone suite has that stereo spread thing as well, which is pretty good. But I don't really know how to measure how good it is. It sounds good on my earphones sometimes, but you want a contrast. Sometimes you want wide stuff to go mono, and mono stuff to go wide, so it's not always wide, because then it doesn't sound wide anymore if it's always wide. You need some bits that are just mono. This is like wisdom from many, different genres of old and mixing, mastering engineers, but also Sonny from Skrillex. He said it in one of his live streams, I believe. But I was stripping everything down to mono for some moments. That's another thing. The hard thing to get over is you just want to put an effect on something and leave it because it sounds mint and just leave it. But sometimes that just makes it sound the same all the way through. You have to use automation to turn things on and off, or to really bring stuff out. It's more work. That's the hard thing to accept. It's more effort, and it might be effort that's wasted, but it won't be wasted because you've learned something. Even if your track doesn't make it, you've still practiced the art of mixing every time. Dub siren. Sorry. Dub siren. I did said I was going to have dub siren, and I think JSOF's gone. So let's put a dub siren in. Did I have to do one with my mouth? Let's see if I've got one of my homemade ones. Dub. Do you know what I'm going to do now? This echo in my ear is so long that... Oh, it's short as well. Did you teach yourself when you started, or does someone teach you? No, I just taught myself, and there was no YouTube when I started, and I just used trackers which only have volume. But that's what the very first mixers had anyway, back in the 50s and probably earlier than that. They just balanced everything and used mic positioning to change the sound of the input, and then EQ came along, and then I got an EQ. I got a mixer which has like high, mid, low on it. But when you get one of those, you discover that there's a thing called a parametric EQ, and you want an analog one of those. So I got one of those, a big 24 track thing. It's massive, very heavy. Spent a lot of money on it. Wasted. No. But now you can. But then, you can do it all in computer now. So you can experiment to your heart's content, rather than taking up lots of space. So yeah, I think you'll learn how to mix a lot quicker these days with a computer and plugins. Seeing what doing a cut at 200 hertz does to anything in context of other sounds. We were looking for a dub siren. Siren. Yeah, this good thing about being self-taught. I mean, it took a little longer. If I had guidance, if I did more than just 1 year in music technology in college and did the following 2 years, I might be in a different place right now. I might not even be doing music. I don't know. It's hard to tell what happens when you go back in time and change something. But being self-taught is fun. You're just messing around until you figure stuff out. So we need some, because it's a loud sound, it does need like a room, doesn't it? And then we'll put it through delay as well. Maybe we should have echo. I could just use a sample, but I'm here now and I'm making this. Could do with a bit of mid taken out. Yeah, Jace, I got the A siren. Don't know where to put it. Usually, after something's repeated, I've quite a bit. The right note there. Siren. I've self-released pretty much everything. I've had one release on DJ Hybrid's, one of DJ Hybrid's labels, Deep in the Jungle Records, and one released by a startup label. and which was another D&B tune. But I've not had any non-D&B. No Terrapastel on anywhere apart from my own releases. I stopped sending to labels a long time ago. Back to the deep dark jungle. Yeah, I know, it was nice being picked up because I think he approached me. Oh no, I was sending D&B tunes to my favourite DJs and people who might like what I was making. I had a list I would send all the tunes to every time I made them. And and he just said, "Can I release it? Would you like to be on the compilation? Deep in the Jungle 8, was it? Oh, I can't remember. It's under the name Next Lev and it's called No Rush." And I played it at a few free parties years before it got released. And it's actually got a sample in it from a Manchester Afro beat / dub live band, 8-piece. And they don't exist anymore, but they wrote some amazing original songs. I sampled one of them and it works really well in that tune. I love jungle and it was nice to make a nice jungle tune. It always is. I've made lots of D&B tunes that aren't jungle tunes that aren't very soulful. Sampling, yeah, we do talk about sampling on this live stream quite a bit. The fuck is that sample? Just randomly have this playing somewhere. That's just wrong. So wrong it might be right. Do you, big man? What do you like to sample? Again. Yeah, I don't think I ever had a big enough record collection to sample. And they only took, when I got turntables, it was to buy and mix drum and bass. And that's already sampled everything. The best records, you don't want to sample the same genre of record that you're making music in, I don't think. I know people do. In fact, there's loads of D&B tune remixes which are just sampled the previous tune and just used massive sections of it, and that's fine if it's a good tune. But, you know, you look at Prodigy and Chemical Brothers, they're digging for deep for samples and they can hear some potentials of, you know, they'll listen to a 70s record of soul and I go, do you know what, that Rhodes bit there, we need to sample that. Load in a sampler before Ableton existed and chop it, reverse it. You got a #1 record. I'm thinking of Daft Punk as well. Jazz. Yeah. You have to start releasing again. Thank you, big man. I will. I've done 7 releases this year under Terrapastel. I've not done any under Next Level, so no D&B ones. I stopped at 30 or 32 releases. But I've got some stuff which is ready to release. But this year I said I would release 1 track per month. And I've only released 7 tunes, so I'm 5 tracks behind. I think the way I'm going to make up for it is release an EP with 5 140 tracks on it in December. It's October now. I'm not going to compete with Mariah Carey because this is alternative music. It's not trying to... It doesn't occupy the same space, does it? There's like the surface. Mariah Carey's there. We're down here. 2 different worlds. Because there's loads of... I say that because there's loads of music advice everywhere saying never release in December, but that's if you're a singer-songwriter, really, or a band. Just take the month off. Do other stuff. They were Daft Punk. There's so many that are like electronic chart hits that are just samples of amazing records that no one knows about, but that exist, and some people know about them, and they're classics. You know, that Goatee, some of that I used to know. That was that's just pretty much all samples, apart from one synth sound and their voices. That guitar at the beginning. Da, 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 da. And Prodigy, you've seen people break down a Prodigy track, and you're just like, wow. How did he know about? How did he have that many records when he went back in the 90s? I guess there wasn't as much media to be bogged down by back then. Like now, it's like, what do I sample? Why would I choose one artist from the 70s over another? And hopefully not even thinking about it too much, and thinking, have they been cancelled? You know. Do you really want to be looking up if someone is now cancelled? I mean, I keep saying, what would James Brown do in any situation when making a piece of music? Try and channel that funk. If I'm looking for a funky answer, I'll ask, what would James Brown do? Well, some people would say bad things about James Brown. Like... Actually, I can't remember. I don't want to repeat them in case I'm wrong. So, but yeah, there's all like cancel, blah, blah, blah. It's a shame. Bang Altar Father has connections so they can sample freely. Is that how? Bangalter Fata or Father? I've never heard of that. Who, what, them? Because I always wonder how they get away with it. How did Prodigy get all those samples? Surely they didn't. Isn't the one Michael Jackson sample in there? Doubt they got that licensed. Crikey. The echo on this is... Why is it echoing so much? Oh, really? Can't remember what tune it's from. But it sounds like Michael Jackson's voice. Oh, have you seen that guy on TikTok who sounds just like Michael Jackson? Doesn't look like him, but his voice is... Wow, he gets every little inflection on every word just the same. It's amazing. Okay. Bangalter Father. It's a strange name. So sometimes I've had people do pretty hefty, continuous spelling mistakes in chat on live stream. I don't know if it's the autocomplete and they're in a different language. But when I see something that looks a bit weird, I'm like, are you sure that's what you're selling? But yeah, anyway, Bangalter Father. Glad I'm saying it right. Yeah, Roy Xop did. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. And I thought they'd played that in on their synthesizers up in Scandinavia, just like, it was dead cold, and it was just like, let's make a happy tune. But no, it's all samples. And there's me trying to make sounds from scratch. Not pulling me out, but going. Still inspiring. See what it needs now. Oh, there is space. Talkie box. Also known as Foreman. Is sampled Daft Punk. We were talking about harder, faster, better, stronger, whatever it's called. Love that track. That, because I mean they even, I'm assuming they sung that bit. But if they did sing that bit, even if they'd sampled it, they put it through a vocoder, and it just sounds like it's got life. It just resonates in the best way. I can't get a vocoder to sound like that yet. I want to. Oh yeah, it's the same vocoder as Around the World. It's the same sound, isn't it? Yeah. See, you can modulate this, you know, on X and Y. I don't usually find a use for it, but I might do for this. Get some movement. Whoa. So let's have X modulated by LFO4. And we're just gonna, oh no. How do you change it to? Maybe I should do it like that. But then it obviously starts there. Does anyone know the key? Oh, look. Never, ever. Hi, broski. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Thanks, Cheese, for following. And for LFO5 you want this to just go up, so it's like the hiccup thing. I don't know why I like hiccups sounds that aren't real hiccups. Because if you're having a bad one in a club, you might not want to hear the sound of hiccups really loud, repeatedly. But I don't know. Either you like it or you don't. You can always go outside. How long? This project, I started it last week. But making music, 20 years plus, stopped counting. So we're going to modulate. In the past 3 years, skyrocketed with development, so it's going good, going well. No big releases yet. Maybe I will never have any. Maybe I'm just happy doing what I do. Isn't that cool though? That you can modulate LFO points with other LFOs. I can't remember the key commands to actually change. You can change the length of this, of the range. Yeah. Is it shift? No, that just ruins the everything. Maybe I've ruined everything anyway. It sounded good, and now I'm not sure. Sounds very loud. Okay, let's try again. It's not much at the start. There's some lasers. Lasers should have its own colour. Yeah, not much of a drop. These ones. Anyway. Paco Strauss. How loud is that kick? That kick might be really... Not bad. Right. Yeah, something like that. Don't know if having those lasers every 2 bars is excessive. Unless you want to get shot that many times. Hi Jules, thanks for following. I think I like this bass better than the first one. Sometimes I end up swapping them round after the intro. Subscribe, thank you. I heard good 140 in a while. Thanks very much. That's what I'm going for. We've got a WOB 40. It's called WOB 40. A night that we put one on last year, put another one, this year, and putting another one on next year in February. And it's mostly dubstep. It's called WOB 40. And last year I didn't have much dubstep to play with me own, so I've got a few months now, and I'm making every single tune at 140 BPM to see what comes out. Because it's, it's just a BPM really. You can still do anything you want. As long as it's got a kick and some subs, it has the potential to be played. And yeah, this is coming out with some... Been doing it for 3 weeks now at 140. It's going well. Especially with that compliment. Thank you. Right. Yeah, I do love the old sounds. That's more what I'm more familiar with, like Roscoe and Bengo and Koki. Just some craziness. I think I'm more into the crazy stuff than the deep stuff. But when you start getting to genre talk, the Americans are crazy with their don't know what you want to call it. Have I heard the term trench somewhere? Is that something different? But it's that stomp, stomp, stomp. And you're hanging on the front rails going, meow, meow. I don't know what that's called. I like haptic, but he does his own thing. Yeah, I've still not made some tear out. Is it tear out or is it trench or is it? Still got some crazy names. I think I've tried to make some of it in the past, but it's all very distorted. It's very loud, like luffs. They're obviously going for as many luffs as they can get, and they don't give a shit about how much distortion. Whereas on, you've got Skrillex, who mixes like the way I want to mix. Clean, musical, doesn't have to sound as loud as possible, but is still loud. Yeah, I think most of the people on the night will be playing, like deep metal music and that type of label. There's loads more examples. It's in Wrexham on the 28th of Feb. Tickets are like £5 still. It's just in this cute little pub. It was going to be in an old Sports Direct this year, but at the last minute we found that the person who was meant to get the alcohol license didn't. So we had to go to a sort of an established cute little Welsh pub called Februrary. And it's nice. It's not got a huge sound system. It's got a stage. It's mostly has bands playing now. But the vibes were right. Happy vibes. Lots of tunes. Some really top DJs. Who was it who was playing? We had a load of DJs from Chester playing, because Chester's the nearest, just over the border in England. It's like 20 minutes from Chester. Wrexham. We had a few DJs from there. We had Wrexham DJs. One from Manchester, or a couple from Manchester. Vibes is all you need, isn't it? We are trying to get little bits of sound system acquired so we can wheel in our own weight at the bottom end, but that adds to the logistics, doesn't it? Gotta have some goals. Bristol based. Yeah, come up. The link is in my link tree. Oh, is it? I'm sure it's in my link tree. Did I put it on my link tree? It's in my next level link tree, which is not really enough, is it? It needs to be on the other link tree, which is no, it's not there. Gonna have to put it on. I'm gonna log on. It's on my next level links tree because that's what I'm playing as. Here it is. Here is the event, which was already loaded up. I'm playing as an X-Lev, which is usually just DMB, weirdly. My link, or it doesn't matter which link you use. Anyway, I need to sort that out. I'll send you a link if you want. Yeah, Bristol. Got cousins who live in Bristol. I wish I'd lived near her for some of the stuff that goes on down there. $3210 Nokia. Hard as nails. Hard as anything. Follow the live creator. Nokia. WOB 40 is the one. Yeah, be cool to meet you, Jules. So what to do next with this? Got a few sirens. The intro probably needs some work at this point. think that sound is just a stand-in, isn't it? It's not meant to. My phone just fell out of my pocket. It didn't break. You'll be happy to know, 3210. But it did make the loudest sound in the very quiet house. Very loud sound. I think anywhere in the world, everyone knows that sound now, don't they? You just hear in the middle of the night. It's because someone's dropped the phone off the bed, out of their pocket. I think trouser makers need to make pockets better so that when you sit down it doesn't slide out. Just have kick. Build. I mean, some tunes don't need a build. I don't know if this is one of those tunes yet, but now I've gone to the effort of making one, I'll probably end up keeping in it, even though it might be better without one. Do deep dubstep tunes have builds, big builds? I don't think they do. I think they just go and then drop. They just have a reverse, maybe a little drum roll, but not like a gurning, juicing, multi-bar build that's got like 10 rises in it. I've seen some really amazing years ago. I bet there's a million more of them on YouTube of how to do some really good builds, and I should watch them really, because I'm just guessing. I mean, obviously needs volume automation. At least those kicks. Oops. There we go. Oh, we haven't got a vocal. We haven't got this live stream. We always say a vocal makes something that sounds twice as good, at least. Even if it's just a one vocal hit or someone saying something, before the drop. If, chat, we were to say something just before this drop, what could it be? What could we say? Hold up. I've done that. Henry. Yes, here we go. From the start. It's rough. The start is rougher than the drop. Sorry, I just have to do this before I continue. Should stop. Thank you, Henry, very much. I think I prefer this second bass better than the first one, but I don't want it to come in first. But your best stuff should come in first, so I don't know. I think it kind of fits into broadly into dubstep, but it's at 140. Everything I'm making is at 140 for at the moment, possibly for a few months. So it's good to have rules sometimes to force you to. I mean, you should be able to make any music at 140. It's just a different speed. Don't quite know where to go for the next bit. Should we? We'll duplicate it anyway, so it's ready to go in. And probably have to change the bass again. We will just do a variation. On the bass. Yeah. No way, yeah. What do you make, Henry? Yeah, I should do more BPM rules because I'm 3 weeks into this one sticking to 140 and having that all that time at 140. I know what it's in my short-term memory and medium-term memory what doesn't work and what does work. Hi, swaggy gal. Housey stuff. Bit of techno. Nice. I like a little bit of house and a little bit of techno. So let's alter this again. Change. What's that? We did a wobble. Sounds like a phone. Can you pick up the phone? Okay. So the fan on my computer is turning so fast that I don't know what I can hear, and the echo of my voice has gotten longer and longer and longer as this live session's gone long, to the point where it's like so distracting. Aaron McLean, thanks for following. That's quite loud, though, isn't it? That last squeak. Could have it dry. Dry might be better, or at least duck this. Thanks for liking. Effects. On this track, that's 2 amps and a reverb. That's not being used. And on here, 4-man filter. And delay. Maybe I should modulate this. Endless fun. Yeah. I was thinking that. I think you know things are going well. Well, for me anyway. When automation starts getting added, because then you sort of know that it's worth adding. Even though, yeah, it's a good stage to be at. Even though there's still a chance the track might not get finished, but there's no way of knowing at this point. I have to save it, bounce it, and not listen to it for 7 days or so. Listen to it with fresh ears, and then just decide whether to finish it. And that's what I'm going to do, because it would have been 1:30 right now, but it's only 12:30. I've got to get up in the morning. Do you have to be up, Jules, for anything? The seasoning. Yeah, I've probably got to get up at 6:30, 7, hopefully 7. Depends when their babies wake up. But I'm going to bounce this. Where is... Jules, you make music. Do you? I mean... Not in a while. I have taken breaks from it, but they've never been that long. A few months at most. Atmospheric jungle. I love that. Is that sometimes called intelligent jungle? It's a funny name, but it was just like breaks. Nicely chopped up. I think Atmospheric Jungle is a better name for it though. So we don't what's the word? I'm thinking of that. A nice woke word to make fun of. Because we want to be inclusive. So Atmospheric Jungle. Yeah, LTJ Bukum, yeah. That's the one. Yeah, I tried to. I have one track that I started at 140, and I tried to go for a vibe of Vivek. I just heard a Vivek track, and I was like, that sounds like 140 Jungle. And I started putting a funky drummer break in a few 140 tunes, but at double speed. But I'll have to find it. I couldn't think of how to finish it. That's why I've not worked on it more. But yeah, making Jungle at 140. I think it needs to be sped up. I think it needs to be at least 155, 160. But that's not going to stop me trying to make something that sounds like Jungle at 140. That's the challenge. I've got a challenge. That's one of the challenges I've set myself to before February. It's just there are some like breakbeat sounding tunes that I've made. Yeah, 160 is good BPM. Don't hear it much in the clubs anymore. Right, let's have a look. I need to bounce this. It's saved. I'm going to bounce it. Here is the render. Nice. What does you use? Sequencer. Yeah. It's quick, isn't it? Quick to lay stuff down. Did you make any amens stuff? Oh gosh, right. I'm yawning, super yawning. Pee. Tried some pee. Pee-wee. Next stream, I try and be on every night, but it's kind of random when I take a night off. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I have to end. If I do go on, I have to end it early and can't come back on. Sometimes I can, but usually every night I try to. Some breaks away are essential though. Like I don't know how people do it every night. I don't know if anyone actually does. And he's still here to tell the tale. But yeah, thanks for watching and following everything, and I hope to see you again and chat another time. Have you got any tunes on SoundCloud? Oh, thanks for following. So, can you DM? Because I can't listen to them now. But if you want, DM them to me, or DM your name and I'll find it on SoundCloud. Because this echo, hearing my own voice now, it's like over half a second. Actually, it's a second. But yeah, 1 second. At the start of the stream, it was about 100 milliseconds. What's happened? Anyway, thanks, Jules. Take care, mate. See you soon.